stand for the pledge? Pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Today is December 18th, 2025. This is the Environmental Conservation Board. We have an agenda that we're going to follow. First applicant is Lake Ossie Sports Club, 35 Ossie Lane, Vegetation Management. Please come up, state your name, who you're here to represent.
Hi, I'm AJ Reyes. I'm an aquatic ecologist with GEI Consultants, and I'm representing the Ossie Sports Club.
Okay. I thought, you missed last meeting, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So there were, we had some questions regarding the equipment, which you gave us. You gave us a layout of how you're going to access the site. There, Steve, we'll look at that. Where you're gonna put your turbidity curtain, fishing access, the type of equipment you're going to be using, and that's it. Is there anything else that you wanna state? You're doing this at 4 locations on the property?
Yes.
Okay, and nothing's changed since your initial submission except the questions that we had, right?
Yes, and we got issued the Article 24 permit from DEC since the last time we met. We met.
Okay. There's the equipment. It's a nice piece of equipment. Let me ask you a quick question. Where are you gonna, you have to refuel this, right?
Yes, so I spoke to the contractor, and if it needs to be refueled, normally they can do it on the water, but if it needs to be pulled out, that's not a problem as well. So if that needs to be an additional condition, that's perfectly fine. So it could be pulled out of the water, refueled, and then put back in.
Yeah, okay, and then where does it get stored at night? It just floats on the water?
So it can, but it can also be pulled out. It's on a simple trailer.
What are they planning to, what do they typically do with it?
They typically store it on the water unless there's a reason to pull it out. 'Cause normally they're not hopping from one job to the other. If they're starting one job, they'll start it until completion. So it'll stay on the water unless, we need to pull it out for whatever reason. And then we indicated a potential area of storing the machine overnight or over, let's say, a weekend material that's
Birch
on the
bulb,
other side of the road.
So how about we do this? How about we let it stay on the water during the week, and then on weekends, we bring it off, or?
Yeah.
All right, and you have a spill kit on site?
The contractor will, yes.
Okay, so you'll have a spill kit, excuse me, on site, offload on weekends, and then the debris you're going to just sell to or get rid of through?
Yeah, it's going to be dewatered initially on the shoreline, and luckily the way that Lake Ossie structures that there's a small berm up next to the beach area, so none of the leachate that comes out of the debris as it as it dries is going to enter the lake directly. It'll just kind of seep into the grass.
Okay.
So it'll be likely dried there, and then it will be either disposed off-site or on-site. That's still a question that we need to work out with the contractors because of the difference of price between hauling the material out versus doing on-site is difficult, to say the least.
Yeah, no, I get it. Okay. Anybody else have any other questions?
Nope.
Let me just go through my notes and then see what we can do. And when do you plan on starting this work?
So hopefully it'll be started during the spring. One thing I do want to note is that we put a provision in there that if it's satisfactory to the board, where the work is not going to last. It's going to be between April and November and will not last any longer than 3 weeks. And if it does, for whatever reason, we'd reach out to the board for authorization to extend for as long as we need to finish the particular project. I don't see it needing the 3 weeks, but I wanted to put that in there just in
So
case
you're
of
gonna do it
anything.
between April and November, will be a 3-week consistently, or a week on, a couple weeks off?
It should be consistently, yeah. That's
Can
what
you
we're
just
gonna.
give us so what we'll do is we'll probably accept your application tonight with the conditions. And the only thing is, you'll get the permit for a year from when it's issued, so you'll probably have it starting early January.
Okay.
First or second meeting of January, and then you'll have a year to do it. The only thing I would ask is that you give us a copy of the schedule when you're going to start. So there's going to be, so I'm going to just make a motion then to the board. So I make a motion to accept the application for Lake Ossie Sports Club with the following conditions: that one, a spill kit remains on site during the work. They offload the equipment on weekends. That they provide a schedule of the work, right? Because I'd like to see 3 weeks of duration. And then have the wetlands inspector do a pre and post inspection of the turbidity curtains, and that would be it. Wherever you put the turbidity curtains, the wetland inspector must do a pre and post inspection of it. So do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, you're on the clock. Okay?
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah, just, this is new to me. I've never done this. I'm sure other people have, but, let's just not make a mess.
No, definitely. Yeah, we help the Aussie Sports Club work with contractors that we worked in other states, so we're relatively confident that they're gonna be able to clean up, and then we as GEI, we provide sort of additional oversight, and that's a part of our contract. So we actually have multiple visits with the contractor to make sure they're hydro-raking in the right places, they're getting to the right depth, they're not just cutting a random channel because some neighbor said, well, we want to go cut it here, it has to stick to the plan. So we actually have built some of that compliance into our contract with the sports club.
Okay.
I have just one question. How are you planning on hauling away the accumulated material?
So ideally, we would let it dry first, and then we would just load it into a dump truck. If it has to be hauled away wet, that's not what I would want to do, because
know
then
that.
it becomes, that becomes a
That
much.
tonnage,
that's a much-
I know,
yeah.
just adds to the tonnage at the landfill.
Yeah, well, tonnage is also a mess, right? If you have that material pouring out of the back if it's still
Yeah,
wet.
you'd have to get a waterproof truck. With a
Yeah, and some certain contractors have dump trucks that have that design where they either have a waterproof tarp inside or they have large buckets inside of the trucks where they can put it in, but we're gonna do everything we can to avoid that scenario. Luckily, the Aussie Sports Club has a lot of space that's able to dewater that material, so it doesn't end up being that, I'm not gonna foresee that issue for this particular project. Other projects that's come up where, it's either in a more highly used area, more sensitive area where we have to have those considerations. But one consideration we did have, just for your information, was to potentially put the material back on the center island. However, we made a determination even before we made the application for you, is that we thought that was gonna be a little too, what's the word I'm looking for? It might not be permissive by the DEC, considering the island area is still regulated as a freshwater wetland. So that was an idea we had, but we decided not to go in that particular path.
One consideration I would suggest is check with the parks or ask around if there's any kind of composting nearby.
Yeah.
Because as I understand it, that makes excellent fertilizer.
Yeah.
So it's just something to consider, and, it's better than, being brought over to the incinerator in Peekskill.
Yeah, and the sports club has done reach out to a few different areas. I think it just depends on which ones are
Yeah.
able to, at the time that they were doing the reach out, they didn't have like the total amount of material and the permits and all that.
You're
so,
not gonna know
yeah.
the total amount of material until after you finish
Yeah.
pulling it up, trust me.
Yeah, we have a general idea because we actually did a drone mapping this year, so we have a decent idea of what's going to pull out. But to your point, I mean, you don't know because, the particular growth conditions at that time of year and such. And
So, Just saying so.
Yeah, no, it's a good opinion.
For the file? All right, good. We'll see you in a couple of weeks.
All right, thank you so much for your time.
Enjoy your holidays.
All right,
Have
you
a
as
good
well.
night.
Thank you.
Okay, next. Old Trolley Properties, ABA, also known as Mahopac Marina, 897 South Lake Boulevard, remove below-ground fuel tank. Can you please state your name and who you're here to represent?
Charlie Melchner, all of the above, Mahopac Marina, Old Trolley Properties, 897, all of those. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right, so what do you want to do?
We have a in-ground fuel tank that we don't have any leaks or issues with. We didn't have it registered, and we didn't realize we had to. It's been in there for quite a while. And we have to remove the tank because we're doing a bunch of permitting work with our license for our dock and a bunch of things at the marina. I need to get it out of the ground and get it marked as closed or safe, however they mark it. I've hired a company. One of the owners is here with me tonight in case I need any information. But I think it's pretty straightforward. It's a 1,000-gallon fiberglass in-ground tank. It's right next to my ramp. I think you guys got pictures, and I have more if you need it. I think it's a pretty easy thing. I remember when the tank was put in, Sclafani Petroleum had done it back in the day. We just didn't know, and
Is it
I guess...
a single wall?
I believe it's a single-wall fiberglass. Could be double, I don't know. But what I do know is it was done somewhere in the late 80s or 90s, and I'd like to just, honestly, I'm trying to make sure I do this properly. And I want to make sure I get it out of the ground. I want to get everything checked, finished, filled in, and then I'm going to move forward with trying to get the proper permits to put either an above-ground or another in-ground tank in later. But for me, I have, the clock is ticking on me on a bunch of stuff, so I'm trying to get it out as quick as I can.
understand. So, here's my question. So when was so I've done this, one or two of these in my life.
Okay.
So what I really, is the tank contained what, gas or oil?
Gasoline.
Gasoline, okay. Has the tank been pumped down already?
We ran it out of fuel months ago. It's got,
There's
I mean,
still-
it might have 50 gallons in it or something, whatever you can't get out of the
A
bottom.
little bit more than that, but, so here's my concerns, here's my questions for you. So one of the things just to make your life easier, I'm going to suggest that you do a test on the tank. You do a Estabrooks test where you do the vacuum, take a vacuum on the test, and since you have no fuel left in the tank,
Yep.
you test it based on the parameters that. And I would really suggest you test that tank first.
Okay.
Before you pull it out, just for the simple fact that you have a baseline, and if the tank does not leak, then as you're removing the tank, when you take your soil samples to close that tank, you can basically show the test results that you did test, the tested the
Okay.
tank, the tank was tight. If you don't know where that fuel, then you have to do a whole investigation.
Sure,
On,
yep.
on the soils, okay? So what I'm gonna need from you is I'm going to need you're gonna use a vac truck to remove that fuel oil, okay? So upon completion of the fuel oil tank removal, well, first let's do the removal. I would need copies of your manifests for the disposal that you did, as well as when you open the tank up, clean it out, and then you're gonna dispose of it. I need the disposal certificate of that. I need basically a tank closure report that you would provide to the DEC. So whatever you provide to the DEC, even though it's a non-regulated tank, unfortunately for you, you have a 275 on this property. Now everything becomes regulated, right?
Yes.
'Cause you hit
My
the
fuel oil tank
you
is
hit
in-
the magic number of 1,100.
So yes, and we are working pretty close with the DEC. We have a fellow, Josh, up there that's been to the site, looked with me, and we're in constant contact, both Frank's company, myself. We're all working with them pretty close to try to take care of it.
Okay, then, so I want copies of the manifest, copies of the tank disposal. Again, I am not mandating you do this, I'm just recommending you test the tank. And then when you pull the tank out, what I would like is I would like some silt fence between the work area and the lake, okay?
No problem.
Now, I know you have an asphalt driveway here, so, and the way to install silt fence is to buried in the ground. So what I would suggest is some silt fence, maybe hay bales, okay? Along the whole dry, so you're gonna have to resubmit your map here, okay? So what I'm gonna suggest is you take your drawing here.
Yep.
What I'd like to see is the following. You need
Can
to
I
give
come up
me-
and look what you have there?
Yeah, you can come up here.
That one has hay bales going on.
This one has hay bales drawn on it, I don't know if that's what you were just saying. I know the
I
thing,
don't think I've ever met you. I met your brothers. My brother.
oh, my brother Bert,
Bert, he
Yeah.
used to live by me.
yeah, I'm trying,
Bob.
sorry.
So this is what I'd like to do. You're gonna propose the hay bales here.
Yep,
You have your fuel oil tank here.
the fuel oil tank is in the building, just so you know.
The way it shows the picture, it
It's
shows.
in the building,
it shows
not
it's on the
underground?
side.
The gas tank is underground, the fuel oil tank is in the building.
But you're only taking the
Only the
gas,
gas
the
tank,
gas.
yes.
tank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yep,
yeah, that's the gas tank.
yeah, I thought you said
So you-
fuel oil, I'm sorry.
To me, it's all, at this point in my career, they're all the same. Now, let me ask you a question. This fuel tank feeds that gas pump?
Yes, we're
What
gonna
do you
take,
do?
we're taking all that out.
And what kind of piping is underneath the? is
Schedule
it-
40 galvanized pipe.
You're gonna suck those lines dry, and you're gonna remove them as well? Correct. All right, so, all right, let's start at the gas pump. So the gas pump is located here, it's probably all running under here.
It runs along the side of the marina, along the dock.
You're gonna do this when you don't have the boats in the water, correct?
We're gonna do this as soon as you give us a letter. I can go to Josh, tell him we have the letter, and we're gonna, at the DEC, and try to
Okay,
do it
I
immediately.
want
Let me get my notes.
pig blankets here.
Okay. Which I have all that.
I want blankets here, you know, the pigs.
Yep.
Just
Yep.
because as you're, because you know, you suck out the line, there's always, there's always residual. So we'll take out the gas pump, you'll suck the lines out, you'll take the lines out. Now, what are you gonna do about, I'm sure they're, are they buried they're buried in this area,
So I can
underneath the
show you.
building?
So not by the building, but across the ramp where the boats go in and out. So,
Goes from here,
so where I'm looking at the picture. I have to look at it a little.
here's the
bit
picture,
better.
Yeah.
So the tank is here.
right?
The lines go down like that underground and go across like that, right there. And this is really gravel right here and
Yeah.
gravel right here, so it's easy to take them up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not a big
So
deal.
you're
But
gonna take-
even when you were saying about the hay bales and the silt fencing, there's almost already an area. And to be honest with you, my blacktop is so crappy. When I'm done with this, I'm gonna have to do new anyway, so, yeah.
Just make sure you
yeah.
got silt fence or hay
Yeah.
bales, okay? Also, on this drawing, I know it's, one of the things you're gonna have to show me is, show the 100-foot buffer, okay, on this drawing. I know it's right on the lake,
Yeah.
100-foot buffer. Okay, you're licensed, right?
Yes.
Is there a copy of your license in here?
Yeah, with the permit, everything, all of the licensing
Okay.
should
fine.
be with that.
No problem. And you have your deed in here, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
And that Estabrook's test is not a problem. I'm certified in solar 3, my guys, so it's not a problem to pull that vacuum test on that tank prior to and, furnish you with that prior to us even doing the
Yeah,
work.
you have the form, the two-page
Yes.
form.
Yep.
and
Yeah,
that's-
have the whole thing.
And you're gonna test the piping
Yes,
and the tank, the system,
the whole system.
system test.
Yep.
And I'm just suggesting this, Charlie,
Uh-huh.
just to protect.
It's easy enough to do.
It's easy enough to do,
Yep.
especially if the tank is almost empty.
Yep.
Because it helps you in the it helps everybody in the long run, that if there is a leak, you can differentiate between a tank leak and a pipe leak.
Correct.
When I'm done, just so you know, I'm not gonna plan on using any of that old material. I'm taking everything out, I'm gonna put in a whole brand new system, dispenser, tank,
Above
lines.
ground.
Yeah, I think so. I just am not clear on what the rules are yet with the DEC. That's my next hurdle to try to go through, figure that out.
Then it was provide waste manifest. Material and tank disposal. Okay, and you're planning on now let's just say you test the tank passes, everything's good. You go in, you put your hay bales up, which, once you put your hay bales or your,
So,
silt fence, you need to notify the town
Yep.
wetland inspector, okay?
Is that Rich?
that's one or the other, hay bales or silt fence, or you want both?
I would prefer for this, either or.
Okay.
Okay? He's not gonna like he's not gonna like the hay bales, but at this point, this is a day's operation.
Yeah, yes, yeah, it's out and then backfilled and done, and cleaned up.
Okay, town will inspect the pre and post. Okay, and then, once you excavate the tank, you pull the tank, you'll clean the tank on site, then you gonna probably dumpster, put it in the tank.
Yes.
And, what are you using, a backhoe?
Excavator.
Excavator? So the excavator, you're not planning to keep it there
No.
overnight, right?
It'll
And
bring
you're
it
not
on
gonna
trailer and
refuel it overnight or
Nope.
nothing? Okay, so it's.
It'll
so
be full on site in the morning, and that'll be it.
If you're here more than one day,
No, it's not gonna be. If I tell you how many days we have tied up in just this process already, you'd be very surprised.
I know. All right, so you dig the tank out, and you're gonna take 5 endpoint samples?
Yep, if that's what you require.
Yeah, stars 80/20,
Yep.
82/70.
Yep.
I'm writing this down like I know what it means.
That's-
Yeah, I know,
So
same
that's
as
a
all the
DEC
normal-
standard.
yeah,
The other
that's all
stuff I
the
got.
That's a
standard.
standard.
Yep.
So you're taking one on each side wall,
That- we
one
can-
on the bottom, and then
Yes.
typically if you hit water,
We
you
do
have
a
to
water
take a water
sample also.
sample. 5 soil.
That'll sometimes also change, not the water sample, but the amount of samples depending on the DEC.
That's
If
correct.
If
they
they
want
want
more.
something more, we'll give them more sampling.
Right.
Instead of doing the 4-wall composite, sometimes they want individual samples from each wall.
Now, I don't know how confident you are with the soil clean and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just, whatever, just one suggestion is, I would line until you get your results back.
Yep.
Line the excavation with poly, throw this backfill material in there.
So we have a field instrument that will be able to
You
actually
use
test
PID?
it, PID meter on site, and do it that way, and then send it out. This way we don't leave, we won't have to leave that excavation hole open.
Okay.
And then, in the event that it does come back, it's
You're
only,
just-
you're talking about 6 yards of material. That
Well,
we would backfill the hole.
yeah, backfilling 6
Right.
mil of materials of this.
Yeah.
But if they make you chase it, you chase it.
Correct. But I'm saying in the event that we would PID it, it would come up, non-detect, that's a pretty good,
Yeah, that's a good indication.
Indicator
But
that we're not gonna-
sometimes
yes.
you get some
Yep.
false positives. So, all right, and then you'll backfill, and then you're done.
yep. And the only thing that's gonna be different in regards to the fiberglass tank on the disposal, you're not gonna get a scrap ticket like you would
No, you'll get a container ticket. a
Yes,
dumpster
you're gonna
ticket.
you're gonna get a dump ticket for the
Yeah, but what
fiberglass.
you'll do is in the
Yep.
dump ticket, is you'll put in the dump ticket, dispose of 1 fiberglass tank,
Yep.
1,000 fiberglass tank, and that's it.
Okay.
the new one going in, is that gonna be double lined?
They don't know what they're
We
doing.
don't know what he did not decide what he's doing going forward.
It's gonna
But it will be, it'll be double containment.
Yeah.
I forget what the code is off
Yeah,
the
it's all
wall.
double wall. And
Because
then-
your neighbor, McDonald has an above ground.
Yeah, he does, yeah, Kenny got one.
Kenny got one.
Yep.
And they make them bomb-proof these
It's
days.
amazing, I was looking
The
at.
Act 100s.
I got a
the,
spot if we do it above ground, I
what's
can
his
make it
name?
look nice, I just gotta get some variances, so.
Convolt.
Yeah,
Convolt makes it.
All these tanks I look at now, they have a thing on rated to be shot with a gun.
The Convolt.
yeah, it's a concrete, it's
It's
encased in
it's
concrete.
encased in
It's
concrete.
unbelievable.
Wow.
I agree. But I guess, it's sad, but anyway.
And you could hit them, a plane could crash into them, and they
Yeah.
won't- nothing happens to them. Okay, so this is for a
Letter of permission to remove
letter
the
of
tank.
permission. All right. No problem. All right, so this is what I'd like by Monday, okay? You have to give me a letter that, take this drawing, show the 100-foot buffer. If you can't show it on here, I understand, but just show the 100-foot buffer. State that you're gonna perform an Estabrook's test or whatever, provide results. Provide waste manifest of the material and tank disposal. And if you do find contamination, you go through the DEC standards.
Correct.
But we would like to have copies of the material that you disposed of.
Yep.
And Make sure they give you the clean bill of health. Notify town wetland inspector, that's fine. Equipment one day on site, you're not storing it. You're gonna do the stars samples, a PID meter on site. So just put in your letter, give us a letter by Monday, basically these items that we just discussed.
So the 100-foot buffer.
Show the 100-foot buffer on this drawing. I'm gonna keep this drawing.
Yeah.
This is a good drawing.
Yeah.
You're gonna, this is a recommendation, you're gonna perform an Estabrook's test on the tank.
Yeah.
You're gonna provide the waste manifest of the material disposed of and tank disposal out. You also need to have floating booms.
That's on the letter, on the paper, if you
Yeah,
want
the
to go letter
paper.
with that in
Yeah,
it.
what
What
I
I do
would,
the removal of the
yeah, for
piping.
the removal of piping.
Okay.
So you just want all this listed that we're gonna do this
Yeah.
on a letter Monday?
Yep, yep.
Okay.
And then, notify town wetland inspector, the equipment will stay one day on site. If not, you're gonna store it off, in
It's
your
coming
parking
back.
lot there.
It goes on the trailer. It's
You're
coming.
over here in Mahopac, right?
Yeah, we're in Putnam Valley.
Okay. Then you're gonna do the soil samples in accordance with DEC standards. You're gonna use a PID meter on site to screen the soils and have, the floating booms for removal of the piping.
In the event that we do find contamination there, we're gonna polyline it and backfill, not to keep the
Yeah.
excavation whole.
Exactly. And put that in your letter too.
Yeah.
Poly and backfill. Anybody else have any questions?
No.
Nope.
I've done one of these.
I could tell. I was like, oh,
I've done 100.
I'm like, I got
I
test
used
the
to work
tank.
for a pump and tank company.
And I wrote vacuum
Down in
like
the
I was
city.
gonna know. Where do I bring this? Because I'm gonna try to see.
You can email it to Rose.
Bring it, or email it, yeah.
Yeah, she's out tomorrow, but she's in on Monday.
Okay.
So you can bring it to her Monday and then, so what we'll do, so do I have a motion? I'm gonna put a motion before the board to approve the letter of permission to Mahopac Marina to remove a 1,000-gallon below-ground fuel tank, gasoline tank, provided that they provide a letter by Monday with the following conditions. Show the 100-foot buffer on the drawing, perform an Estabrook's test on the tank, vacuum test on the tank, provide waste manifest of material and tank disposal, notify the town wetland inspector pre and post installation, removal, tank removal, like once you get the things in. The equipment will not stay on site for more than one day. They will follow the New York State DEC guidelines for a tank closure report and provide a copy of that closure report to us upon completion. Use a PID meter on site to screen. Install floating booms around the gasoline piping that is going to be removed from underneath the docks. And in the event there is contamination found for soil, they will backfill the hole until they get direction from the DEC. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, so you get the letter to Rose. Monday, she will then she can give you the letter to start the work. But she'll send it to me, she'll email it to me Monday, and then what I'll do is I'll read it, and then if it meets what everything's good, I'll give it show it a secret handshake. All right?
Thank you very much.
Have a nice
Okay,
Christmas.
have a nice Christmas, gentlemen.
Nice to meet you.
Okay.
Nice meeting you.
Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Bob, you get this? Here you go.
And we won't let you know, we'll get the paperwork in right away.
I've been doing,
We'll be spot on with it. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Good luck.
Thank you.
It's a simple, it's a simple thing,
Yeah.
until it isn't.
All it is the paperwork.
Yeah.
It's the mountain of paperwork, for sure.
This was the easiest part of everything I've done. We started this months ago, I'm sorry, we started this months ago, and I got a wonderful guy at the DEC, I can't believe I'm saying that, a wonderful guy who's helpful for me, but he's so busy, and when their company sends in stuff and we have to change or do something, it just takes so much time. And I'm like, wow, and then this came up, that we had to do this, and I said, oh, no. So,
Bureaucracy at work.
oh,
Yes,
gosh,
your tax
it
dollar,
moves
your
slow.
tax dollars.
Yeah,
Okay.
Good night.
Okay, last item is we have meeting minutes for November 20th, 2025. The only one that was not here was Ed, so do I have a motion to accept the meeting minutes for 11/20/25?
I make the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. With that, do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Everybody have a happy, healthy New Year and a happy holidays. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, happy holidays in general to everybody, and we'll see you next year. Thank you.
So this meeting is on the